got different requirements.
I got different requirements.
This one got different requirements right here.
You know, I mean, I like everything, you know.
I said 5 minutes is a quickie because you think about it, it's a quickie for a reason. You don't got that much fucking time.
So why?
I can hit it any day too. The fuck y'all talking about?
So why y'all
He ain't gonna tell me no. So sis, you need to wake up and realize that you're not the only one he want to be out here sleeping with, and he ain't new to this. He's true to this. Yo, everybody, what's up? We're back with episode 5. It is the beauty, Tiara J.
And the beard, B Champagne.
We want to thank you guys for constantly tuning in and supporting us. Thank you for following us on Instagram. Make sure that you continue to share. Make sure that you follow us at TheBeautyNTheBeard PC on Instagram. Mm-hmm. Make sure that you're following 10,000 Hours the Network on both Instagram and on YouTube. Like, subscribe, share. Shout out to our network, 10,000 Hours the Network, for keeping us here, and we keep rocking.
Yeah, we back at it. People was asking where the pod was at, asking for that link.
Yeah, we had I was sick last week, so I apologize, guys. I wasn't feeling so well. You know, we got all this nonsense going on out here. So right? You got to make sure that you're okay. I was just like, nah, I'm not feeling it. Like, I couldn't do it. And we always want to make sure we give y'all good content. Yeah. So
make sure you're out there washing your hands. And
yes, do not touch your face. So, you know, we're talking about that. We're going to get into today's episode. It is called National Pandemic State of Emergency. Mm-hmm. So, I know everybody has been, tuned into CNN and Facebook, wherever platform they have this news. I mean, like, I get like a million emails a day.
Yeah. They got to start watching BBC. That's what it
really BBC really does get an Al Jazeera, international news, because, you know,
they get it first.
The U.S. also puts a cap on how much they want to tell us, so they kind of control. It's
definitely a fact.
Control the narrative of everything around here, and we are in political season too. So yeah. I just feel like some things they like pick and choose. So
I think they do that every time it's time to vote. They put something out like this every year. I saw a list like that. Like one year it was the Zika virus, and the year before that
we had SARS and everything else.
Wild nonsense going on. So.
You think it's a distraction?
Honestly, yeah. To get voters ready to vote for a certain person. You see a lot of people dropping out right now.
Yeah, a lot of people are dropping out.
After they done invested a couple million.
Right. And, getting scared off for whatever reasons. Getting bullied out.
Scared off by who?
I don't know.
That T word, Trump?
Trump is off the hook.
Captain Trump.
Let me tell you, like.
So do you vote? Like, are you into voting?
Yes, I do vote. I'm mad that I, missed this past... was it Super Tuesday or whatever, because I work in New York City, so I don't get home until like 8:00 at night, and it was kind of like bad for me. But I was like, I'm not missing any type of vote. Like,
got you.
I don't play that. I vote for I vote on local level. Higher levels, whatever is important that people understand. How the structure of the government and pretty much like the legislative branch.
So. Do you think there's like a black agenda when you vote? Like, who are you voting for? Or is there certain things that you look at, not even if it's on a black agenda?
It's not necessarily black agenda, but it has a lot of things that I do look at, like, how it affects the economy, different things. Like, at the end of the day, whether you white, black, Puerto Rican, or Asian, you do think about the economic health of the country because you're working. Like, you have to support. The cost of living in New Jersey is
retarded.
It's crazy. I mean, like, it's like freaking.
I had a conversation with my grandmother last night. She's from South Carolina, and I asked her, "Why did y'all move up here?"
Right.
From South Carolina.
And what she
said? To New Jersey. And she shook her. She didn't even know.
Let me tell you something. I'm out of here, y'all. I want to be out of New Jersey so bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just up here, period. It's crazy. It's like wildfire.
Or at least South Jersey.
Huh?
Or at least South Jersey.
Nah, I'm talking about out.
Out, period. Go on. You just gonna leave New Jersey like that?
I'm trying to get up out of here. It's getting rough up here.
But is it just the rent, or is it just period? Like you're not feeling Jersey no more?
I'm just not feeling Jersey no more. But like the rent does keep going up. So like I feel like the rent going up, the pay not going up like it's supposed to, and you gotta really out here hustle. Like you hustle out here. You don't complain, you just get it done. But at the end of the day, it gotta be an easier way. Like
that's what something I just
I'm in a 1-person household while 2 people, I got a child and myself, but it's only 1 adult in my household. The average household is at least 2 people to survive up here.
Yeah.
With a median income of at least 100 to 120 grand.
That's rare.
Okay.
But that's rare.
But if you pay attention and you read like certain areas, you do your research and stuff, you see that.
That's the norm for
it's
some
just
people.
me.
Yeah.
I ain't hit 6 figures yet. I will, but I ain't do it yet.
I'm trying to get there next year, right?
Listen.
End of this year. Top of next.
Right.
That's what Nip said. You know, like you got to make situations like this feel comfortable, so you do go harder. Like, nah, that's 100,000. Now, yeah, I could get that by such and such.
Right. You got to set like goals
make that the norm.
and not give up, because it's easy to give up.
But I think just like with voting, I think that's just a different mindset to have going after something like that.
You think, why is it so different?
Because you gotta. It's not a comfortable thing. Like, people vote, but they don't understand politics.
Right.
And
like
people
they
don't
think
understand
that the president is the one that run the country.
Exactly.
And he's not.
Exactly. Like, people don't understand money to even make the money.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? You stepping into waters you don't even know about yet. So,
well, I feel like it's more so in our community, anywhere, because you just got to think about like growing up, and it's not necessarily that your parents did you wrong or did wrong by you, but perhaps you got to understand it's like a generational. I'm not gonna use the word curse for that, but it's like a generational programming that is learned behavior. Okay. So people can only teach you what they know. So like now, I feel like our people are starting to become more, financially literate, have more financial aptitude and understanding. Like they're doing the work to challenge themselves to understand, I got to get my stuff together.
I think it's an ignorance thing too, because I look back and the guy across the street from where my grandmother grew up at, he was a landlord, and I didn't even know what that meant when she said, "Oh, the landlord coming to get the money." And you just hear them say that. He owned the whole block back then in the 80s, like late 80s. And I'm like, okay, how did he know? And my grandmother is across the street and she didn't know.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
I understand.
Like but
like I said, that's the thing. Like it wasn't something, ownership didn't like necessarily, African Americans, we had to fight to be in this country after we were brought here in slavery and bondage, but we still had to fight to be here. So a lot of things were meant, we were at a disadvantage. Like, as far as government and everybody else felt that we weren't worthy of anything. Like we never got our, reparations.
So that,
what is it? 40 acres and a mule. Did that ever happen?
That's another thing with voting. It's like, yo, if that ain't in there, I ain't voting for nobody.
Right. Like, see, that's the thing. So, but you got to understand, like, people don't never want to go to the little local levels, like when you're voting for the councilmen and, the senators and people like that. Like, those people control everything. That's who, they come up with the laws. They come up with ways to decrease, financial assistance, to the masses and everything else. So, like, only thing the president is doing is signing the bill.
That's it. Literally, that's it.
That's it. All he doing is signing off. So everybody puts the blame on all these people, but the blame falls on us. Like, we got to do better. We got to pay more attention to our surroundings, because everything, it starts immediate. Like, so it's closer to you before it gets further away from you. Like, start with the locals. Figure out who's in your city, who's doing what. Who's
I think it's beyond that too, because even Jay Morrison was saying something like, "Yo, we got enough money and enough power to pull back and say, yo, y'all not getting our vote if y'all don't put this person in office," and we pick that person and push them. Right. Because there's just already people there with certain agendas.
But like you said, we have, like, it's a lot of, like, ignorance as it relates to that. So many of our people feel like our vote don't count at all. So like, it does, because if like you said, Jay Morrison said, we have enough power. If they knew the power that we actually had, they would use it. They feel like they're powerless. So that's number one, is understanding your power, that you do have a voice.
But the voice behind who? Like, if I'm saying my voice through a person that doesn't actually identify with me, like, we all black, but we ain't all black. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a mentality. Black is not just something you just wake up and, you are every day. So it's like, okay, if this person is not like me, they can't understand actually what I'm going through.
I always agree with that. And I don't even think it's just from a level of being black. You got to just think about people as it relates to poverty, in America. Like, black people are not the only people that, are in poverty. You got Spanish people in poverty, white people in poverty, that their own people are not even for them. Like, those people look like them now, they're in office and making things, but they're the last people on their agenda, because they consider them to be white trash. So everybody in that mindset has to learn to want more and to educate themselves, because they're nobody's committed to educating you. So you have to
be committed to educating yourself.
Right.
I'm biased with black people though, honestly.
Why are you biased with black?
Because I'm black. I'm not worried about nobody else. Everybody else worry about everybody else and not worry about mine. Period.
So you just pro-black?
Pro-black, period. It ain't no other way to be with that. You know what that's an honest answer. It's not like a mean thing to say, because everybody else race take care of them.
Okay, so here's
First,
my thing. Here's my
they do it
thing. I
first.
get what you're saying, but here's my thing with the whole pro-black. Okay, everybody is like as an individual are pro-black.
Yeah.
But as a collective, as a group, we're not pro-black because we do not support one another. And it's like I always tell you, like I feel like black people are the biggest haters. And it's just like I don't care what nationality, where these people come from, they can hate each other. But let me explain something to you. On the surface, they're going to be strong like rubber bands, banded together.
That's what I'm saying.
Black people. So I understand you being pro-black, but until we understand what actually being pro-black and being what our people are for, I don't care about none of that because we're not upholding it. I'm not doing that. Like black people will hate on you so bad. You can come from the same area, the same struggle, and somebody get on. And like people have so much pride. Like you never know. You could talk to somebody, they might teach you something, but you're so busy hating and sending negative thoughts and talking down on this person because this person came from the same area, had the same 24/7 that you had, and just decided, you know what, it's okay to be down, but I'm not going to lay down, and everybody else around me lay down, so that's not my fault. And instead of them saying, hey man, like, how'd you do that? Can you help me? Can you at least guide me and give me some guidance? It's, F him or her. Or she thinks she better than everybody. Or she came from the same projects as me. Or, whatever the case is. And you looking at it all wrong.
Okay.
Your perspective is all wrong.
Gotcha.
So black people are the biggest haters. But the minute somebody else do something to us, we want to be out there attacking and protesting. But we do stuff to each other every single day.
I think
we tear each other down every day. Nobody tears us down more than ourselves.
But that's like the law of proximity. I can't tear nobody down if they're not my neighbor. You get what I'm saying? Like, if we all in the project right here, who else, if I am going to hate, who else I'm going to hate on? Because my mind can't go past 10 doors down or up the street and I just see myself. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't think it's just proximity. I don't think it's about people being immediately around you because you just think about you not being in the area of success and somebody else is in the outside area. So of course it's unfamiliar territory. So it's not proximity. And you still just can't be happy for that person. Or you still just can't be inspired by that person. It's always it's something like, it's like crabs in a barrel. Like, and it's not, I'm just going to say that I feel like it's more African Americans than it is just the race of like, all black people because Africans stick together. I mean, like they'll all be in the same house to everybody reach their common goal.
And then they teach us they treat us a different way as well.
We'll attack each other in front of the other races. So everybody else is standing, united and we're standing divided in front of everybody and we don't care. Like, let me explain something to you. I always tell people this. I work with the rich people and stuff. White people are totally different. They can hate your guts. You could be white, they hate your guts.
Yeah.
But what's the word I'm looking for?
What? Yeah, find a word, please.
No, because in this,
you gotta what?
I'm about to break this down because it's really true. It just popped in my head while I'm talking.
Break it down so it forever can be broken.
So, Bishop T.D. Jakes had like a sermon like years ago. Yeah. And it was talking about a comrade, a confidant, and a constituent, and knowing the difference between the two. Okay. I mean, between the three.
Confidant.
You got a comrade, a confidant, and a constituent.
Okay.
Your confidant is a person that is for you, for what you stand for. They're going to be with you, through ups and downs, rights, wrongs, and indifference. They will talk to you or whatever, but no matter what happens, they remain unified with you. They're on one accord with you. Your comrade is somebody that doesn't like, if I'm not trying to mess this up, I believe it's a person that is fighting the same fight as you against dislike. So they don't like this. If they don't like the same thing that you don't like, they banding together with you because you guys are fighting against the same fight. But everything else, y'all don't agree on it. And your constituent is a person that bands together with you on things that they agree on. So like we are all in those groups. You have a few confidants. I know we can all agree on that. Like you got some people that you can confide in, they with you. Yeah. Through the fire. Yeah. And you got some people that's only fighting the fight with you because they against what you against. And then you got some people that's fighting the fight with you because they for what you for and they just trying to get y'all working together to get to a certain goal. And then once that, that comes together, then it's like everybody breaks apart. We have to learn how to confide and to be strong within one another and not to be comrades all the time or constituents all the time.
So that's kind of like respect over loyalty.
Right. Like at the end of the day, we have to stand together, right, wrong, or indifferent, because nobody else is going to embarrass. Think about Congress. You know how many times those people mess up in Congress? Republicans do a lot of wild stuff. But
that's what I'm saying. On that level, I hold them accountable. So you want to put yourself on this top tier level. you not in a room to make mistakes, to me, because you playing God at that point with judging whether I get this amount of money for taxes, I could go to school here, I do this over here. Like you have no room for error. Like y'all have too many mistakes. Like people locked up in jail for weed, marijuana, but in this state it's legal. So my man's over here don't go to jail, but I do for 5 years. That don't make sense. Like on a level of, yo, this is the United States. Okay, we all looking at an even playing field. United States. Laws over here is different from this one. What is going on? It's confusing when it gets to that level.
It is very confusing.
You get what I'm saying?
But so you got so many, like, that's where I feel like a lot of ego and pride comes into play, because some people just see what they see and like what they like. And the pride and the ego gets in the way. And, like, honestly, you know, Congress and stuff is made more of men than it is women. And, you know, men, like, you get into an ego fight, a pride fight, it get ugly. So they going to do whatever. So they're going to muscle up, and there's so much masculine energy being thrown around, and somebody got to show their power more than the other one. So it's a power struggle.
Yeah. Okay.
At the end of the day.
It's a whole bunch of nonsense to me, you know.
But nobody's trying to hear each other. Everybody wants to talk, and nobody wants to listen.
But that's the thing. I think people it's enough land here for everybody to do what they want. Like, you could have Christians over here, Catholics over here, people believe in Judaism over here, the Hebrew Israelites over here. If everybody just stay in their area,
stay in their lane.
Stay in your lane. Stay out of mine.
But that wouldn't be United States.
But it ain't united when, that's the thing. Just like you said.
You were just talking about the United States.
That's what they call it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said it doesn't make sense.
Right.
In politics, because there's so much separatism in it. Okay, it's the United States. Why we got Republicans and Democrats and liberals and all these types of people? Why y'all all not on one accord? So now I got to pick from y'all.
We are the only country with this type of democracy.
But it makes no sense. Just because we have it doesn't mean it makes sense.
No, I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying we are the only country, the only largely developed country with this type of.
Donald Trump.
What about him?
That nigga look like Biff from Back to the Future. And if you pay attention closely, that was about time travel. And Donald Trump's uncle, he built the time machine supposedly back in the day.
He did?
Yeah. And everything that happened in that movie is running concurrent with what's going on right now. I don't know if people pay attention to that though. His nephew, you know, that's Donald Trump's uncle that built it.
Donald Trump is the nephew. That's what he's saying.
He is the nephew. So it's like, okay, what's going on? How he get all this money? But in the movie, he had got a hold of a book that predicted the future.
The almanac.
Yeah, the almanac, yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's like, okay, you can see how that could happen now.
So you think that Trump is from Back to the Future? He's the real life Back to the Future?
Yeah, that's him. There's no way they look alike like that. And in The Simpsons, they portrayed that too.
Yeah, and it's like so many different things, like what's the word I'm looking for? Things like in the media, like now with the election and things going on, people saying that Trump is not as rich, you know, as he say he is. Like, they really believe that he's broke.
Broke how?
Because
where is this man broke at? Where is he broke at?
They saying, like, not that he's like necessarily broke, but he's not as wealthy as he say he is. Because think about it, okay, the one type of business structure that he did have that did not succeed, that he did not have his family like all up and through, because you know all his empire is basically like ran very close knit or whatever the case is, and that he failed at. And if you look at it, because he was, you know, had to put other people in charge and in place, it's the casinos, and he bankrupted them. Think about Atlantic City, done. Yeah. When he bankrupted the one in, you know, like the resorts and stuff in Puerto Rico, is because he couldn't have the people that he normally have in place. He couldn't run a tight ship. So that's what they were trying to say. Like, a person that is financially, you know, literate and, you know, have the aptitude like that. Like, it's no way that you have successfully ran all these things because you don't have your key players in place. Okay. For the first time, you had to employ other people to be in place, and you failed miserably.
That's cool, you know. How many bricks Jay-Z said he lost? 92, something like that.
And then he's not even like, he won't give up no tax records, none of that.
That's what I'm saying. When you get up to that level of wealth,
no, it's not.
It's a different game.
This is like, why people need to understand.
But look, if I'm a cop, who do I go tell on to myself?
Let me explain. Who
do you tell on?
It's
to
not
yourself?
About telling on, but
he don't got nobody to report to.
No, listen. Presidents before him. Yes, he does. He's not in control of this country.
Why is he
does
not
have people to report to?
I don't think so.
Yes, he does.
Because he's richer than the people he used to invest in before to run for government.
Mm-mm.
You get what I'm saying? He put
I don't
money in
believe it. I
certain
think it's
places.
all
So
a
now
hoax.
he on
Like
the other
his
side
word,
and he
he like
looking at
uses
them
a
like, y'all
hoax.
remember when I gave you 100 million for that race, right? You remember when I gave you 50 million for this and this and that.
Nah,
So
I
now
don't
it's
think
like
it's that.
he put himself in a different
No,
position.
this is where they dropped the ball at. So this is like
Mhm.
been in the media, and I don't want to like jack it up
Yeah.
because you know it'd be so much stuff like circulating. So many things are said and circulating, but when people need to understand about like the whole government and what is law and what is protocol. See, so where Trump is getting away with, like him doing certain things, is because it wasn't necessarily a law. It was just protocol that everybody followed, but
Yeah.
it wasn't a law in place. It was just like, so when the presidents did become presidents and they had to disclose certain things, it was just a protocol that they followed.
Yeah.
Versus it actually being, you have to submit this. So that's how he's getting away. And people don't realize that. So over the years, where the government, or legislative and judicial system, whoever puts those things in place, drop the ball, is they only had it as, it was only quote unquote protocol, but it wasn't.
So he's operating
required.
within the gray area of any contract, basically, is what you're saying. So
because
people can understand it.
Because it's not necessarily required. It was just
It's
a
not the
protocol
law.
that they did. Like, like,
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
He's like, nah, I'm gonna hold off on that.
Yeah, because I don't have to do it. Like, it's not a.
Yeah, I
it
don't
was just
have
a protocol that everybody followed before me, but that's not a law, so I'm not abiding by it.
Damn. So
yeah, y'all gotta stay woke.
He bucking the system.
So what's going on? But the system is rigged. We knew that already.
Yeah, that's why we gotta pull out of it. Like, no, I don't deal with that. Like, that's like somebody saying, okay, I go to the recreation center in Broadway. Somebody might go to the YMCA. That's like them trying to put their rules on top of me. What we doing at the rec? It's like I don't fuck with y'all. I'm over here. Y'all trying to put y'all shit on top of me, but that's what y'all do over there, and I keep that to yourself. That's how I feel about the government.
Well, the government will have to be dismantled for all of that stuff too.
It can be.
How?
Belief. Just like if I take away your belief in a book, like you believe in the Bible, I'm gonna just use it because everybody know what we talking about. You believe in the Bible. When I come there and I debunk the Bible now, it's like, damn, what do I believe in now?
Or everything I learned was a myth. Or,
it was a myth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just change people's minds about the government too. Like, you could pay for your own shit. You can do this yourself. You could build your own houses. You could do blah, blah, blah. Like we've been doing back in the day. And they came and bombed shit because we were segregated from them. And then we integrated with them after that. Now, that's why we're in the situation now. We collapsed because we wanted to integrate with people who wanted to learn us, get close to us and say, oh, we could control them better if we give them civil rights.
Right.
We was just asking for niggas to be civil. You get what I'm saying? So, all right, give them civil rights and we going to learn a blueprint and turn that shit on them. And now look.
Well, that is always the power structure, and like that was also created like out of fear. So that's what a lot of people like argue, like when it comes to like the race on, the fight on race, like between the whites and the blacks, is that a lot of the things that the white people did, they pretty much what's the word I'm looking for, like
what?
One upped us. Because the way that they processed and the way they thought was out of fear. So they were like fear led. So their fear caused them to do things to drive us into fear. So that's how they like one upped us.
Get you. But what was the fear? Death?
I don't know. But you got to understand the reason why Black people were looked at. Like, I don't know if you ever got a chance to visit the African American History Museum that's
Where?
in D.C.
And y'all went there in 8th grade. At Broadway High School, we went there.
It wasn't up there, and this one is new. You didn't go
there. We went.
You went to DC, but that wasn't
it was
the
African
American one. Nah.
Okay.
This one is new. It's only been up maybe 16? Yeah, it's only. I'm about to say it's been less than 5 years. But if you take a walk, like it's like amazing experience. It's free. You just go online. They release the tickets like at the beginning of the month or something like that. But you can get free tickets. When you walk in, you realize like how they programmed the minds of people like to fear us, like we were monsters, like we were to be feared, like Black men, all they do is rape white women and this, that, and the third. Well,
okay, really, can I cut you off real quick?
Us, our women would be.
Let me cut you off real quick. If I'm the monster, who the fuck am I scared of at that point? You want to paint me as a monster? Okay, I'm the boogeyman now. I'm gonna fuck shit up. You want to put me as that? Why can't I act in that way from a logical standpoint? If you're scared of me, why are you bothering me?
Because we were already in bondage, so they already had the control. So what I'm trying to say is once they stole us from our land, right? You got to remember, like we were unknown to these people. They never seen us before.
That's another thing I don't believe.
We also didn't know the language that they spoke, and they didn't know the language that we spoke, but we know that how they, got us. They had us bound in chains, and they beat us and starved us and did all these horrific things. Those people were already in fear of their life when they got here. They're in a foreign land, foreign territory. Also, we look different from them. We were, that's what they used, those type of things to make us inferior to them. So everybody that was surrounding, of course, we were outnumbered, but everybody that was surrounding knew these are bad people. You have to keep them in line. Like, by all means, protect yourself. So if that means that you have to kill one of them, kill one of them. So it was like
just to go back to the conversation we had earlier about being black and not being black. We were sold off by the Moors. So they did know each other's language at that time. The Moors were black.
Yeah, but what I'm saying to you is, even with quote unquote slavery, in Africa, even with quote unquote slavery back then, our slaves were more like servants versus actually being what we had here. So when we were sold off, it was like a trade. Like, it wouldn't be any different than it was in our land. Yeah. But they did not. That wasn't their agenda.
Okay.
It wasn't the Europeans' agenda.
To have slavery over here.
No, it wasn't their agenda to run, like, to conduct,
their
quote unquote servants or slaves like how they were in the motherland.
Gotcha.
That wasn't the right agenda. Like,
they
didn't have the same agenda.
I get what you're saying. I understand that.
Like, I know it looked like, we betrayed each other or whatever the case is. Like, we betrayed ourselves.
Yeah.
But if you are doing something and you know that this is how you've been doing it for years, and these are, the rules and stuff that you had, and this person knows that these are what these people do for you. These people work, they do this. This is a foreign land. You don't know what those people do over there.
I feel you, but then it's another thing too. Like, my grandmother, great grandmother, they were here already. They didn't come over here during slavery. Mm-hmm. Like, my grandmother looked straight Indian. Great grandmother looked like a straight Indian, hair down her back. Mm-hmm. So it's like, when they tell me stories, it's not, oh yeah, we were slaves and this and that. So I don't identify with that directly.
Right.
You know what I mean? Coming from Africa. So it's like, okay, what were we doing before that?
See, the thing is, it's like when you, like you say, you get into like your whole lineage and stuff like that. Like, I had part of my, lineage, they were natives. Mm-hmm. They were here. And then you got my other part of my lineage that were actually slaves. Like, my great-great-grandmother, who passed away at 116 years old in 1994. Jeez. She was a product of, a child of a sharecropper. So people that just came out, but sharecroppers was technically still slaves, but she was raised by sharecroppers in the beginning stages of her life, raised as a sharecropper. Yeah.
So even to go further back, it's like, okay, normally people just stop at, okay, we were slaves, and it's like, okay, I was the kid that asked, yo, what happened before that? You telling me I'm a king, she a queen, god and goddesses. How we get to this point right now? How do we fall so deep into mind control that we can't realize, yo, they telling me I was a king before this.
It's programming.
But okay, if you see something, it's like, nah, this is you. Why don't we identify with that? That's like somebody could call you a nigga. Yo, a white person call you a nigga right now. Look.
Let's talk about that.
Let me finish. Let me finish.
Tell your story.
A white person could call you a nigga right now. You're like, yo, I ain't no fucking nigga, da-da-da. But he call you a million and he like, yeah, that's me.
Let me explain. No, let me send you.
The belief changed that quick.
That NRGG ER word. Just this past week when I was leaving work, and this is real life story. I swear to God.
Just happened?
This just happened this week. I want to say it was Wednesday of this past week. Me and my coworker, mind you, I work on Madison Avenue, Upper East Side, where the money is. Mm-hmm. And we cross right across the street from the Met. So we right on the side of the Met, like on the side of the Met. This woman was already like, in a little rant, yelling stuff out. We didn't know what the hell she was saying. I was on FaceTime with my best friend. My coworker was, had her AirPods, and I don't know if she was listening to music or on the phone with somebody, but I didn't have pods, and I'm just on FaceTime and walking down the street. So this lady was already in this rant, and then my best friend was like, oh, who is that? I was like, I don't know, somebody outside yelling. This lady had to be at least about 500 feet in front of us. Mm-hmm. We weren't paying any attention, but sometime, like within that time frame, she had to turn around and like notice that me and my coworker, who happens to be another black woman, was walking behind her. Mm-hmm. And she started her. Right. She was like, black niggers. And like whatever. I don't even remember everything she said. Them two words I know, but like I was on FaceTime. And you know how you not listening, but you listening?
It took her head off.
You know how you listening, but you're not listening. So you gotta like, hold on, what is she saying? So I tapped my coworker. I was like, what? Like, what is she saying? You
Mhm.
hear what she yelling? What's she yelling? Because I wanted to make sure I wasn't tripping.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, yeah, something about black niggers and Puerto Ricans, whatever. I said, and I vowed not, because I'm going through my whole Lent process.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a curse now because
But that's why
I
you was
haven't been
spelling that word
swearing.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I said I was loud. I said I will slap the shit out of this bitch. And my coworker was like, "Word, I will punch this bitch in her face." Like, it got real. Like, we was loud as hell because she was so far ahead of us. Like you better chill out. This is how people be always trying to make like people crazy. This woman had very good sense.
Yeah.
She stopped walking, and we didn't even know she stopped walking. She stepped into the street like in front of one of the parked cars.
Yeah.
As we walking past her, she goes to my coworker, "Don't call me a bitch."
What?
My coworker looked at her. She said, "Bitch, I told you to watch your mouth." Like,
yo.
So she got quiet and was acting all timid or whatever. So we was like, man, like F her, like I've been went to jail, like but she out of line. Yeah. I got so mad. You ever get so angry that you break out into a whole body sweat?
Sometimes
like I broke out into a whole body sweat. I wanted to slap the shit out of this lady, and she was older. So we get like so many feet ahead of her. Now she back yelling, "I can say whatever the F I want to say," and all this other stuff. I said, "Oh, this bitch thinks somebody playing." Yo. She crossed the street, so I said, "I'm crossing with her." We cross the street, she crossed the street back again. So we going back and forth till she stands in the middle of the street waiting to see where we go.
Yeah.
I said, you know what? She got good sense.
But you can't give people like that no,
she could have got slapped.
Nah, like something doesn't exist if you don't give it
she knew what she was attention. Doing though. Like, don't do that.
They know what they're doing. That's why, like, when I step out the house, the last kid I deal with is my child.
She was saying Niggers, not niggas. She was saying niggers.
Let her say it. Like, that's what you want to call me.
Nah, she's not gonna be. She wouldn't. No.
Yeah.
Nah.
She
wasn't gonna. This girl had the nerve to say, "Y'all hate white Cubans, bitch. We don't even know what you are."
Let me put it to you like
this. And what is a white Cuban? What is that?
A white Cuban.
There's no such thing as a white Cuban. You're Cuban or you're not.
Yeah, that don't make sense.
It's like me saying I'm a white black person.
There's a few of them. I know a few.
Well, white black. You're so.
I know a few.
Like, you hate white Cubans. Like, girl, we don't even know what you are. We weren't even paying you no attention. You starting with us. Now you about to get slapped.
Yeah. But that's like something you can't retaliate on that, because then you gonna end up on the wrong side of the fence on that one. Soon as you put your hands on her, it's over. Now you the angry black woman.
Which I was already angry when she was calling us black niggas.
You the angry,
and that we hate her.
But that's why I think like
no.
That's why like you gotta get down, like you said, study your lineage, right? That's the right way to say it. The way we retaliated before wasn't on a physical level.
No.
You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, it was peace and it was evil at the same time. I was like, I ain't gotta touch you. I'm gonna go home, pray a little bit on something.
Right.
I'm gonna holler at you there when I get there. You feel me?
Right.
So it's like, I think if we resort back to shit like that, you can't bring that up in a court of law. Oh, they did voodoo on me. What? How can you prove that? You can't prove that, can you? You can't prove nothing of what I do in my house, and you can't bring that up in a court of law to say I did it to you.
That is crazy.
You don't think so?
No, but that's what they say. They say that's how the slaves freed themselves by using stuff like that.
But this is what I'm saying. These are well documented things. So it's like, okay, we looking at a table.
It's very like I read about a lot of stuff, so it's accurate, like news clippings and stuff that you can like go into the library. You can pull up.
But that's what I'm saying. You could go on your phone. Yeah. You could go on your phone, get the PDF version of the book. It's free. You could download it for free.
Wait, what
and read it.
About? We talking about two different things.
No, a PDF, like the version of a book.
But I'm saying, like, I have seen like news clippings, like, like from back in the day when you start researching stuff like that, like about certain reverends, like, pastors and stuff, or the well-known witch doctor, or, different things. They were trying to like pretty much, like you say, like pin stuff on them, but they couldn't.
You can't. What does this fall under the lines of?
Sorcery.
But that's not a crime.
I know. I'm just saying.
So it's like, okay, you want to retaliate physically, so now you're gonna get locked up, and now you're gonna be trying to pray to get out.
Right.
To the same, like, that don't make sense to me. It never did. It never will. You know what I mean? Coronavirus.
What about it? Well, apparently, like when they were saying about people, African descent, they can't get it, or it won't affect them. Like one guy did, contract the virus when he was in China, but it couldn't affect him like it affected everybody else because of his genetics. So
he didn't show any symptoms, right?
Yeah, he like pretty like he had like I guess regular like flu cold symptoms, but it went right away.
Little fever.
But it said the reason why it could not.
Yeah, genetically,
the virus could not beat him. Like it couldn't live.
So we're genetically superior in a way.
Yeah, I thought that was like kind of like real amazing.
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting
That's more than interesting.
because they're not even talking about the people that are like, we don't know the nationalities and things of that nature. Like even the, like the whole demographic, age wise, whatever. Like, yeah, they're saying like elderly people or people with, weakened immune systems or,
it's a respiratory.
Yeah, it's a respiratory
virus. Yeah.
And you never had a respiratory virus before?
I don't think so. No. Mm-mm.
What is it called? Upper respiratory infection, which is a virus because viral, they can't treat it. Like you don't get antibiotic when you get upper respiratory infection.
No, you just gotta let it pass through, right?
Yeah, like they give you steroids, keep your airways open or whatever. So it just it attacks your respiratory, the way you breathe and stuff like that, your lungs. But like they're not really talking about like, it's not like, this 25-year-old or whatever passed away today. They're just telling you like the elderly people or people with pre-existing health conditions are the ones that are most effective. So that's letting you know that this thing is not as bad
but
as they say it. It's not going to wipe out all mankind. Like,
but if you do the math, right? They're saying for every one person they come in contact with 10 people, 7 of them going to get it, right?
They said 1 out of 31. I heard that's what
1 out of 31.
Right.
But if you do the math,
the flu every year is a different strain. It's no difference.
It's been here, but if you do the math on what they give us, more people should have it than what they say got it. So it's like, why are you holding it?
Coronavirus is before it. Coronavirus is labeled on Lysol.
Yeah.
But it's a different strand, like just like the flu. Right.
And it's only affected in areas that got 5G.
Think about the flu. Every year they got to come out with a new vaccine because it's a different strand every year. So you really getting a shot from the strand from last year. So they don't know how it's going to affect you with the strand that come out this year. Let's be real. I don't get vaccines. I don't get the flu shots and stuff. I don't put that shit in my body. Because how you treating me with something from last year and if we know every year this thing change. What is that going to do for me?
Would this be considered biochemical warfare?
I believe it is.
It is, right? And
this thing was not from no bat soup or people eating animals and stuff. This is literally somebody was in a lab and they said, we gonna mess some things up.
Okay, now.
Right. China is heavily populated. We already know that. Like they have a lot of orphans, things like that. Like it's a very heavily populated country.
It's disgusting.
They was in the lab trying to figure out how they can, get it down to size. What they didn't realize is they didn't have as much control over it as they thought they were. Because the people that was in the lab with it died too. So
you think that really happened? Like that?
The man that was trying to warn everybody about it, I don't know if he died or if they killed him. I think they killed him because he was trying to tell the truth.
Listen to me.
He could have been on the thing. Like
it gotta be fake news. Because even locally, like you could have somebody that's a snitch in the hood. The nigga's gonna get to him before the cops do. You telling me he's above all of that, right? And he has something that's so privy to just to him, like the knowledge is so privy to him that he got this out on the internet with all these hackers before the virus did or something like that. And he got
you got to remember that the government hires their own hackers too. Let me tell you something. The same people that they lock up, them people get right out because they know they need them.
That's what I'm saying. It wouldn't even make it that far.
Let me tell you something. When they get into that whole like that cyber warfare and things like that. One thing about the government, they're really smart in the place where they either they say you either roll with them or get rolled over. So they rolling with you.
So that's what I'm saying. That type of information wouldn't even be able to leak.
And everything else. So no, somebody's going to get the job done. That's why people are contracted through these agencies like the CIA and things like that. You got people contracted to do jobs because they know the person going to get the job done, and for them it's about money in this business. So
when you under that type of surveillance, you dealing with coronavirus, that information ain't finna leak, is what I'm saying. That's impossible for me to think if y'all coming this one way and then this just so happened to get out there. Now, if it actually does, my next question is how and why?
Because some people just have good hearts, and some people just not built for certain things. Perhaps maybe he had to change a heart.
I don't think so.
I think so. I think he wanted to tell everybody something.
No, but I'm saying he could have that change of heart, but that information ain't getting out there. You got dirty cops that can cover up crimes. Like
that's what I'm trying to say. I don't think that he passed away from the coronavirus. I think they took him out. That's what I'm
But
saying.
they gonna take him out before he even get to that point. Is what we see
That's
movies
what I'm
where
saying.
all that.
Before he can share anything, he got taken out. Before he can tell us about the. No, I'm telling you. Before this man could disclose the actual facts about the virus, he mysteriously died.
So you're telling me a dude that's that smart, and you know this your only chance to get the information out, that wouldn't be on your first and only tape?
Listen.
Yeah, I think on a different level. I hold people of that level subject to certain standards. So it's like if you a scientist,
you don't know how he was sneaking around. You don't know what he was doing.
If you about to get it out, and you know you about to get killed for it, you gotta say anything.
That's not true.
It's true. That's true.
You don't necessarily know you're going to get killed.
Nah, you do. He knew something was going to happen.
That is like saying, like, everybody say, "Oh, Nipsey was such a great person." You think if he knew he was going to get killed, he wouldn't put more information out?
He did. He put all the information out that he could, and he was real straightforward.
But that's what I'm trying to say to you. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, his agenda was bigger than what these people wanted him to do. So the easiest way to do is take him out. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing. No different.
I get what you're saying. I had to bring my nigga Nip into this.
No, I had to use it just for everybody, but I'm just trying to use like the same conspiracy theory or however everybody think about certain things. It's the same thing. It's always somebody ready to do the job.
What you find, Siri?
All right, Siri, all up in our business.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy. But see, that's what I'm saying. It's they can hear, they listening on all types of shit. They got keywords. I remember I was dealing with this chick. See, I was dealing with this chick. She was working for I can't even remember the company name, but it was like a work from home type of situation. Uh-huh. She would type in a keyword and she would have to flag tweets all day. Panasonic. Uh-huh. She would just flag tweets. If somebody was talking about something, shoot. It could be like, yo, photo shoot this week. It'll pop up. And she'll have to flag it and say, this person is talking about this. All day. And I'm like, oh, if you got people and you outsourcing like that, I could imagine what you got in your headquarters. It's artificial intelligence. AI? I don't even want to talk about AI.
No, but that's what it boils down to. Like, honestly, see, people don't understand. Like, when you get into certain stuff, Google will flag you too. If you start Googling certain stuff, something will. Yeah. It happened to me. I forgot what I was trying to do some type of research because I'm always researching something. And I was trying to do something and it really literally like popped up on me like, what do you like? Pretty much like, what are you doing? In so many words, was asking me. Mm-hmm. But it literally, and I was watching. That's what it was. I was watching a YouTube about something they was saying like how all your stuff is like pretty much like encrypted and things like that. Mm-hmm. And it's like if you like do this little thing in Google whatever and watch it flag you. And it literally like it was a whole different screen that popped up. Mm-hmm. Not no regular Google search screen. It was something totally else. It's totally different with so much other verbiage, and it was pretty much in so many words like, listen.
Yeah, we know
don't do this no more.
Yeah, watch out.
Right.
That's real scary, you know what I mean? Don't do that again.
I'm not. I was just doing it to see if it worked.
And it worked.
It did.
You wasn't scared after that? You swiped out?
No, I wasn't scared. I closed it out and I was just like, wow. Like, and I just started actually typing other different stuff in to see. Like
you ever notice how you could be talking about something, your phone could be in the kitchen, and you come back and look on your phone, you looking at the ads, and it's exactly what you done been talking about? Like, I'm talking about cheeseburgers now. Cheeseburger Paradise popping up on my phone.
Cheeseburger Paradise.
I'm like, what's going on? Like,
well, I do know that like so when it comes to like business and online and stuff, those are marketing strategies. It's called
I know.
What is it called?
What?
Ooh, I'll get back to it.
It's called You Ain't Supposed to Be Doing
No. So like for example, like if you ever notice that you might have been on like maybe thegap.com, you shopping and you go on any social media platform, whether it be like some type of blog or, Instagram or Facebook, and now the Gap showing up or whatever, that it flags you. It flags your IP address.
So you tell them your
IP address get flagged.
They got a connection to your microphone on your phone through the terms and agreements.
I believe all of that.
Mm-hmm. You check it off.
Just like how they can wiretap into your phone at any given time.
That's why, like in old movies, like you see like a gangster movie, the nigga like turn the blender on when he talking about some shit.
Right.
They're like, nah, come meet me in the club because I know you won't be able to hear this shit on the microphone.
Right.
Or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Put the phone in the microwave, blow that bitch up. For real.
Okay, gangster.
I ain't no gangster. I just know a few things.
Somebody.
The funniest shit I seen was a nigga hand to do the what's them little things we used to watch? used to flick it on your hand like this, a little kaleidoscope type
Oh,
shit.
I know what you're talking about.
That
I don't
nigga
know
put
the name of it.
he put the location in the shit. Like, nah, look through there. You gonna find out where you gotta drop my shit off at. He put it in there.
Oh my God, I remember those. I used to have one. You just
Yeah, I
look at the
forgot.
picture. You just go,
Yeah. You gotta be smart.
You gotta be smart.
To get around shit like this phone.
Like this microphone. Like, so they listening to us right now?
It's apparent they listen to us. Siri done. What can I help you with?
Interjected, right?
Yeah, I hear y'all. I know what's going on over there.
Let me let them know.
The Beauty and the Beard podcast flag.
Yeah, let me let the government know what they talking about us right now.
Let's see what happens when we try to upload this.
I know our podcast better go live on. We better get a lot of views and streams. You guys better stream or retweet this as much as you can. But they ain't
even worry about us. We don't got no type of military or nothing like that. So
what?
Nah, no bullshit. That's why they don't respect the black agenda. We don't have no military. You know why they respect the cartel? Because the cartel will fuck some shit up.
They sure will. When
breaking niggas out of prison.
Chapo out.
Like, come on, you come in like that, the government got to give you some type of leave. Like, I got you. You can bring your shit across the border for me, man. Break me off though.
They be scared. They
just like in Snowfall. You watch Snowfall?
I watch Snowfall.
Same, yeah, just like in that show. That's that work.
Let me tell you something. Like I do believe that we don't have no muscle.
We don't got no muscle.
But that's like you think about it. Like so. You said you watched Snowfall. You ever watched The Godfather of Harlem?
Yeah,
about Bumpy Johnson.
Yep.
See, back in the day, that's pretty much like what Malcolm X and them stood for, like having their own regime, like their own army, their own this, standing up for certain things. So you are right. That's so we lost that along the ways. Our people, we lost that.
But that's why they killed Malcolm X,
right?
As well as Khalid Muhammad. They killed Khalid Muhammad because he was real militant,
right?
You know what I'm saying? They took him out before Malcolm X. I know it was after Malcolm X. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, but that's what they stood for, like having our own
militant.
Power. Yeah,
because they knew that was the first
learning self-defense.
That was the first thing in order. Like how you gonna protect? How I'm gonna protect my lady if I can't bear arms the right way?
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm just talking shit at that point.
We got so far away from what our original goal was.
We got
just
caught
like you said. Once I guess the civil rights came, we just kind of like, oh, we're accepted, but
we got caught up into the promises of the government that didn't do shit for us. So how when you dance with the devil's always gonna lead. Right. You don't got no foot in that race. Like you can't do nothing at that point. He's like, you dancing with this motherfucker. You know who that is.
Right. You
know it's the devil.
Is.
So you know how you dancing with him. So now you gotta take what.
And you get caught up.
You take what he leading with.
Yeah. So that's actually
yeah, you know.
This got a little real.
I mean, they watching.
Yeah, we tapped into a little bit today. Yeah. I think we got a part to this. You continue talking
definitely.
About our people and the state of the black community. Let's talk about that next time. Like, what can we do? How can we band together to move forward? What's necessary? How can we stop hating on each other? Because I'm sick of us hating on each other. Like,
I think
you see somebody doing something good, congratulate them, support them. Like, even with us with the podcast, we're trying to do something positive. It's so many other things that we could be out here doing in the world. Like, that's negative.
Sometimes it's not even hate. It's the person who's receiving the constructive criticism the wrong way. Like, somebody could be telling you, step your shit up. I remember I played some beats for a nigga. He said, nigga, your shit's trash. A year later, I came back, played him some beats, and he bought some shit. Because I took the constructive criticism the right way. Like, oh, that nigga said my shit trash.
But when it comes to the point that it's not constructive criticism.
It's just like we all playing on the same playing field. Just like in battle rap. Yo, them niggas look like they want to eat each other up there. But after the battle, you see them dapping up. Some sometimes they fight, but that's how we used to fight. All right, cool. Bars. Oh, that's my man stuff. We getting money. You get what I'm saying? We gotta think with that. But
mindset. It's not even like that's just one scenario. I'm just saying as a whole. Like you see people doing positive things. Like instead of speaking negatively on them, or just wishing things or saying things like, "Oh, that's not gonna last," or "This is not gonna work out." Like no, like learn to put out positive things because people don't realize when you start speaking that stuff, like that stuff manifests. That's why they always tell people like, don't do nothing. Don't share your dreams. Don't share whatever it is that you're working on until you get it off the ground because so many people could channel so much negative. You know, energy is fluid. Yeah. They can send so much bad your way that your thing will never get off the ground.
But that's why you got to resort. It's your great grandma said, yeah, just do this. Carry your little gree bag, your black bag. Yeah, exactly. Leave the chicken bone by the door. Watch who step by it and see what happened to him.
Right.
So it's like, all right, once you operate from that level. But if you want to be more, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know the word I'm looking for.
Right I don't know the word you're looking for either, but you cracking me up with your whole hoodoo vibes.
Just a little bit, but more mundane on surface level, like the movie Pursuit of Happiness.
Right.
You can't let nothing step in your path. Like
You
and
can't.
tear you down. Like that movie, right? I watch that. Like I try to watch that once a month just to give me that fire.
Like when
case
people
I'm
tell
getting
me
down.
I can't do stuff, it make me want to do it even more.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm gonna show you.
Yeah.
And it's like a positive, for me, it's a positive reinforcement. Like, no, I know I can do it. It is not necessarily about proving something to somebody, but it's just like, that makes you, it drives a fire, a passion. Everything has to be like passion and fire driven. Like, if you don't have a passion behind it, it's not going to
that's why I'm saying you don't attack the haters, you attack the individuals to let them know this what happens when somebody hate on you. You get what I'm saying? Just like people say you can't talk to the person who got raped in a situation. You gotta talk to your sons. Like, yo, you can't be doing wild stuff like this, little nigga. Like, you see that? We don't do that. So now you tell him that stops it from the root. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, and no. But some people are just...
Nobody want to attack the root, the basis of shit no more. So
I do. I'm going right at the head.
Yeah.
They say you gotta take the devil head off.
Cut it off. Burn the body. But yeah, let's, we're gonna wrap that up.
Yeah. But thank y'all so much for tuning in. It's episode 5. Make sure that you stream this. We are on a couple of streaming platforms right now. We are on Anchor. I don't know what is on my list.
Yeah, that's on my mouth real quick.
Yeah, I don't know. It's the chapstick I use. It's probably cheap.
It'll be all right.
Yeah,
It'll be cool.
Oh, well. It's chapstick and some little cocoa butter stuff. I won't be
stay moisturized out there.
What you say?
Stay moisturized out there.
Shut up. But we are on streaming platforms. We are currently on Anchor FM. We are on Google Podcasts, Spotify, Breaker FM, and YouTube. I believe it's Radio Public. Make sure that you go onto YouTube, subscribe to 10,000 Hours of Network, like, subscribe, share. Anything? Any closing remarks?
As y'all can see, I ain't had my notebook today, but we made it work.
But anyway, tune in next time with the Beauty and the Beard podcast. Thank you so much for supporting us. Peace.
Peace.